swim in the ocean so gracefully, to the tiniest ladybug that may float upon our shoulder and light upon our fingers. We come to you today in a good way, only asking for good things. Today here, that your Spirit be with us. Open us. Let us see where our lives can be more fulfilled and where we can be of service to others. Help us to quiet ourselves and to move into a space of peace and compassion, where love flows from you abundantly and we receive it fully and completely in all of our energetic space. Mahio. These are the names I've been taught to call you. For in our tribe and in our nations, we speak a different language. I honor you and all the words that have been used to describe you. We ask for the direction of the east to come present with us, where the breath of life flows to us so freely and so completely, where the eagle, the great majestic animal, can bring to us the vision to see the revelations from this last year. We humbly ask the direction of the south that brings the wisdom, the intelligence of the wolf that teaches us how to live in community. In community, truly, feeding each other and loving each other and walking next to each other to remembering who we are. Let that spark of the Creator that is in us, the kingdom that lies within us, to be ignited into a bursting flame to overflow from us so that others may light their light off of ours. To the direction of the west, where our ancestors lay their physical bodies down, and the bear will bring us strength and courage and teach us how to nurture our young in a good way. We ask that the waters that flow within us and within Mother Earth be cleansed and healed, that we may move into a new way of thinking, a new consciousness, a consciousness that brings our awareness to doing no harm, to living honorably and with respect to all creatures and all things. To the direction of the north, where we move into our winter, where our ancestors reside. We call upon all the ancestors of all of our bloodlines, of this land. We call upon the buffalo, to bring us wisdom. The wisdom to stay connected to Mother Earth, who gives us life, food, and sustenance so willingly, gives us water without question, is like an amazing mother who cares for us and walks with us. Let us remember to stand for her and to be her voice and to care for her in a good way. We ask for the wisdom to see our Re-SOUL-utions today and to see the wisdom from our goals from last year and to move into a space where only love resides. Creator, thank you for allowing us to be together with our brothers and our sisters in this room. But let us remember, we are connected to all things and to all people. We are one. Let us remember what we do to others, we do to ourselves. And let us be cognizant. Let us understand that connection is with all things, two-legged, four-legged, the creepy crawlies, the plants and the minerals, the water nation, the swimming nation, the standing nation, the flying nation, and the star nation. That our love is sent out to all things. Let us remember how powerful we are and that our thoughts become our reality. We ask to hear the messages, to feel, to see, to sense, to perceive what is for us. And if it does not resonate with us, then it has nothing to do with us. We ask to be mindful and respectful to all belief systems and to all peoples and all walks. Pray this and ask this and open to this in the name of all that is. So it shall be. Amen. Aho! Give it up for John. Talking about what is going to happen this year, right? What goals do we have? Where are we going? What's happening? But what we tend to forget is we tend to forget to look back over the last year and to see what were the lessons that we learned. What were the goals that we set at the beginning of last year that we did attain? And did we take a moment to relish and to pat ourselves on the back and say, good job. Thank you, Great Spirit, for helping me. Thank you for giving me the strength and the courage and the wisdom and the intelligence. And if I didn't attain a goal, what were the lessons that I learned in that? And maybe I'm at a place where I can look back and I can see why I didn't attain that goal. See, we see here. And the Great Spirit sees here. So sometimes we set a goal that we think is best for ourselves, and for some reason we hit a roadblock, and a roadblock, and a roadblock, and a roadblock. How many of you have ever done that? Maybe even this last year we did that. I did that this last year. I felt like I was beating my head up against a brick wall, and that brick wall was not budging. And now I can look back and I go, oh, that's why. And there are still things that I don't know why, but I know it will come. So if we keep just setting more and more and more goals, think of a jar. Do we have flour? No? Okay. Think of a jar filled with dust. So let's think of how long have we been setting goals? Some of us have been setting goals for 40-something years, 50-something years. Some of us have been setting goals for, I think our youngest one is not 2 yet. She's not quite setting goals yet. But some of us maybe have been setting goals for 6, 7, 8 years. So each time we set goals, think of it as if we're putting something in a jar. So we're putting this in a jar. And this jar is sitting there, and the next year we add more goals. So we put more stuff in the jar. And the next year we set more goals, we put more in the jar. But we never take the time to look at what were the goals, what were the lessons, to go into introspection. Now is the time that we're in winter, and Mother Earth is pulling everything inward. And she's introspecting. So what if we took time to look past this last year? Just look over it and think about the goals that you set. Praise yourself for what you got. Learn the lessons. Take a moment to recognize them. But a lot of times we don't do that. And we don't do that because of fear. Because if we look back over the last year and we realize, well, I said I was going to go to the gym every day. Well, it lasted to about February 1st. I said I was going to eat right all year long. Well, that lasted about 2 weeks. I said I was going to really work on my spiritual health, my wellness, my connection with the Great Spirit, so that that could be the precipitous in my life. Well, that didn't work out so well. But so we get fearful because then we start thinking that we're going to feel bad, right? But it's not the goal. It's the journey. It's not the destination. It's each step that we took upon that. The sacred loop of life that we're walking every day. So we learn these lessons, and fear stops us. Well, what does 2 Timothy say? 2 Timothy says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of" what?
Fear.
Fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. So why not challenge your mind? Why not take a moment right now and just think about your year? Think about the good. Think about the challenges. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I don't know about you. My year was kind of challenging. Rhonda, I know y'all's year was a bit challenging. But it makes us stronger. For if we don't experience fear ever, how can we truly experience our full power? Isn't that a good question? Have you asked yourself, if I never experienced fear, how would I know fully how powerful and strong I am? If life was easy, all the time, we were born with a silver spoon in our mouth, we were born with all the money that we needed, we were born with all the resources that we needed, all the love, our parents gave us all the love, supported us, even though our questions may have been different than their questions, supported us and said, it's okay, question more, question more, question more. If everybody told us that anything was possible, you could do anything, would you be strong? The first speck of fear or adversity that presented itself to you, you'd crumble because you weren't strong enough to stand up, because you had everything always. I look at this often with children, and I see the children that struggled when they were younger. They struggled, they didn't have food or money, resources. They didn't have, their mom, some of them were being raised by a single parent that was working all the time. And then I see the kids that are given everything. Everything. And you know what I find is that the kids that struggled, the kids that had to work, some of them literally knew what starvation was. I stole from food when I was little. My 2 brothers, and my sister and myself would go out, and my sister would create the diversion, and my brother knew what he was to get, my brother knew what he was to get, and I knew what I was to get in order for us to eat. Is it something that I'm proud of? No. Did I learn a lot? Yes. If I ever see someone taking food, I pay for it. Because I know they need it. People don't take food just because. But I look at those kids that had that struggle, and I look at the integrity and the respect, and I look at how they look at people, and they go, wait a minute, they're hungry. I need to stop. I may not have $1 to give them, but I'm going to stop and give them my word. And I see the children that have had everything, and they grow up and they're in their 20s and they're in their 30s, and they can't really make decisions. They don't know how to. And the first time that I cannot speak today, adversity presents itself to them, they crumble, and they go running back to mom or dad, and they're like, I don't know what to do. And then for the next 3 weeks, they have no clue what to do, and they're crying, and they're out of sorts, and all that happened was they have a dent in their car. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, not all are like this, but I'm just saying, as I watch, this is what I'm beginning to notice. So fear has a purpose, but there's a healthy fear and there's an unhealthy fear, right? Okay, now a long time ago, we'd walk outside, we'd see a saber-toothed tiger, and we'd fear. And fear did what? It increased hormones in our body, it increased adrenaline, and it told us to run, hide, get out, because we didn't want to be eaten. That's a healthy fear. That is a self-preservation fear. But then we have fear of everything. These fears that make no sense. How many of you have ever had a fear that you look back at it now and you go, how was I ever afraid of that? Like fear of the dark, fear of heights, fear of jumping out of planes. I had a severe fear of heights. So I went and jumped out of a plane. Because I said, I am not going to allow this fear to stop me from doing everything that I want to do in life. I mean, I would go across a bridge. Living in Washington State, I would go across a bridge and literally, they had to give me enough Ativan to kill a horse. I was like Mr. T. How many of you know the A-Team? Mr. T did on the plane. That was me. That was me. I had to get there a couple hours early. I had to take a bunch of Ativan. I would sit down in a wheelchair. They'd give me my Ativan. I'd take about 4 Ativan. I would sit there, and then they could roll me down onto the plane. Not really a healthy fear, right? Well, so if we look at fear and we go, well, why? Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's all it is. It is fear of the unknown. If we don't know it, we get fearful. If somebody looks different, thinks different, acts different, loves different, is different in any way, whether they're a different culture or a different belief system, we get fearful. And what do? Judge. Do you know every time you judge yourself? Every single time you do. You put yourself in this glass prison. So a lot of us are walking around in this huge glass prison because we've passed judgment on all these things. I love it when Andrew told me somebody came up to him and said, oh, you have dreads, and asked him a question. Then I'd be like, what does this have to do with that? But again, it's judgments, right? Judgments of. And we judge ourselves more than we judge anybody else. We look in the mirror, we look at our bank statements, we look at our house, we look at our things, and we start judging ourselves. I'm not tall enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not smart enough. I had a kid yesterday, beautiful child, said, well, I want to make all these changes, but I'm only 8. And I said, honey, 8 is only a number, love. You're so powerful, you can make changes. Don't ever believe you can't make changes just because you're 8. Or people will get older and they'll say, well, you know, I'm in my 60s. I can't really do that. Cecilia, I don't see you doing that. I don't see you doing that at all. I see you being fearless. I see you going out. You're changing things. And I won't tell your age because we never speak about age when we She's only a young 26. Only a young 26. So what does Proverbs say? So if we allow fear to hold on to us, we can't see the revelations from this year.
I'm not talking about revelations in the Bible, but revelations in the Bible is very symbolic, and if you ever have a chance to sit and read that, you definitely need the power of prayer when you're reading Revelations, because it's so symbolic. But also the Quran, the Kabbalah, the Torah. We all need to be in that space. So the revelations from this year, we need to be strong. So I invite you, when you go home today, take out a list. Make a list. What were the lessons you learned in 2014? All the lessons. The good, the challenging, all of them. What were the goals that you set that you attained? And praise yourself for that. And don't allow fear to grab a hold of you, because if you just keep piling things in that jar, more goals, more goals, more goals, more goals, more goals, that jar gets pretty heavy, doesn't it? It gets really heavy. It gets hard to carry because you got all of these goals from all of the years. And pretty soon you can't move. So you're setting new goals, and guess what? You're setting new goals in an atmosphere that's going to be really difficult for you to attain them, because you haven't let go and released and cleared out and cleaned out the other goals. So think of it this way. If every goal I set when I started moving towards that goal, I created like a cord or a tentacle that came out of myself. So I had these goals. How many of you would look like a very strange octopus of some sort? You'd have lots of limbs going everywhere. Well, if I take and I go, wait a minute, okay, I clean all that out and clear all that out, and I start moving towards a goal, don't I have a lot more energy to move towards that goal? Isn't the path a lot clearer for me to move towards that goal? Because I don't have all this stuff weighing me down and holding me back. You're not meant to be weighed down and held back. Fear can do that to anyone. It can rob you of your greatest successes. And one success, 1,000 failures lie hidden. And in one failure to try, 1,000 successes prematurely die. I don't want you living in that space. Fear can move us into hatred and hating each other. Martin Luther King Jr., I love him, by the way. He's like one of my people he's one of my peeps. I just love him because he was strong. He was fearless. He did not mind dying for the right reason. He was peaceful. He didn't stand up and say, I'm going to shoot everybody because y'all are treating us bad. He stood up and he used what? His voice. What happens when one person gets fed up and stands up? Thousands of other voices join theirs and change happens. So I'm going to invite you, are you using your voice in a good way? Are you sitting back and you're watching things out here and you're not, I don't want to make waves? That's fear-based, isn't it? In John it says, and he has given us this command, anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. For we're all brothers and sisters. We can't say, well, because you believe something different, I'm going to kill you. Because that solves it. I mean, we've seen that solve it all the time, right? It solved it. It solved it when the Europeans came here and had the largest genocide in history. Killed 50 to 100 million Native Americans. That solved it. We don't exist anymore. No, we exist and we exist stronger. And now people are going, wait a minute, can you teach us how to live in harmony? How to live in peace? Killing, hatred, it doesn't solve anything. Only love can. And men often hate each other because they fear each other. If you think differently than me and you challenge my thinking, if I'm not really solid, like maybe my thinking is a little off, and you challenge me through your thought process and I get angry with you, am I really angry at him? Or am I just angry at myself because I don't have a solid foundation? And now I'm questioning. And now I'm like, uh-oh, what I believed for the last 35 years might not be the right thing that I've been believing. But when you have truth, people can question you all day long, and it doesn't budge you. Because you know. Because you've questioned, you've dug, and you've been fearless in your belief system. So how can we move out some of this stuff? How can we let go and release? Number one, We can do it through sound. How many of you know that you can move out through sound? You can release through sound, that your body responds to sound. God said, let there be light. So the very first thing was sound. It was sound. The voice said, let there be light, and there was light. Sound. So I'm going to ask you, what are you saying to yourself? What are the words you're using? When you're looking back at these revelations from the year, are you judging them? I feel so bad. I didn't accomplish that. I'm a failure. I'm nothing. Or are you looking at that and going, gosh, I learned this lesson and I learned that lesson and I learned I needed to let go of this and I needed to move into this. I changed some of my thought processes. I changed being able to treat all of my brothers and my sisters with respect and honor. We don't have to all believe the same way because we're all saying the same thing, just different words. I call God Mahio, Tinkashala, Wakatanka. That's my language. That's the native language. You may call God God, or Buddha, or Jesus, or Yahweh, or Jehovah. This source has had many names. But connect and remember, you are not upset with spirituality. If you've had a bad experience in a religious organization of any sort, you're upset with what man has done to it. Jesus was upset with what man had done to it. Do you remember Jesus walked into the tabernacles and what did he do? He threw over the tables and said, stop and get out! He was not complacent. I'm just going to look the other way. What did Buddha do? Buddha left his family and he went out amongst everyone. And Jesus did the same. So if you look at any spiritual book, whatever the name that's used, look at the action. Because the actions are the same. So when we look at sound and how sound can help us, I want us first to look at this. Think of if you've got your jar and you've got your goals in it. And it's only the goals for this year. Not the goals from 2014, 2013, 2012, you clean that out. And if you haven't cleaned it out, I invite you today to start working on cleaning it out. I'm going to show you different ways in which to do that. So when you reset your Re-SOUL-utions, that you have a clear and clean pathway. Yes, I stole that from you, Dr. Bob. Took it. You took it. I was like, that is beautiful. It's Re-SOUL-utions. So thank you. So take a moment to watch this video and see how sound affects patterns. Click it. There we go. So think of your goals as dust that you're putting into your jar. Will you turn back on the light? Do you see how sound affected? We're all cells. We have cells, blood, water. We are energy. So sound affects matter. We've been talking about salvatio frequencies. And so is there a salvatio frequency that also will help us to release and let go and move through? So if you look at the 396, it turns grief into joy, liberates fears, but it searches out hidden blockages, subconscious negative beliefs. How many of you know that, I don't care how enlightened you are, we all have subconscious negative beliefs. All of us. Please know this. It's the one reason why when I heard of higher brain living, I was like, I know I still have things that I haven't fully been able to dig out. So you look at 396, but you also look at 417, and that's undoing situations and facilitating change. You can go to YouTube and you can click and say 396 hertz or 417 or 528. It's sound, right? It's sound. Close your eyes and breathe. Does it feel different when I come near you?
and breathe. Do you feel different? Yes.
One of the troubles that I've had in doing meditation is my verbal, analytical self has been hung up on words. And as I get to the point where I don't always hear what the words mean, and I start to listen more to the vibrations, and for example, John in his magic flute, which I understand according to John, we all can learn, and we're going to try to learn how to play the magic flute. But the point that I'm making is Cecilia could meditate long before I could, and my analytical training got in my way. And I find that as I listen more to the sounds and the vibrations that are pleasant to my thinking or energizing my thinking, then I find that it's much easier for me to meditate, and I'm happy to say that I'm learning how to meditate.
Yay! Awesome! That is awesome, because that's another way to move things out, is to meditate. When you bring it into your conscious awareness, that's the first step. It's kind of like, have you ever heard, if somebody's in denial, like let's say they have a problem with alcohol, but they're in denial, they have a problem with drugs, and they're in denial. Are they going to change? No, because it's bringing it into their conscious awareness first, right? That's the very first step. Meditation. You can meditate to release and let go. You can meditate to relax. You can meditate to get more in tune to your body. Our music has been in 52, and they changed the frequency of our music to a disharmonic frequency. Every music is played at a frequency that is not harmonic with our own energy flow. So our band has been beautiful because they tuned their instruments to what?
We're still in 440, but we're doing 432.
432. So 432, if you look up here, well, go back. 432 is not up here.
It's not up here.
It's 432 is the frequency in which is the base frequency in which we as energetic beings respond to. They moved it from 432 to who knows to what frequency?
440.
To 440 in 1950s. So the music that you listen to is disharmonic. So if you're trying to release and let go and clear out and cleanse out, it's very hard if you're listening to something that's disharmonic to your own energy flow. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I meditate a lot to 528 because I love 528. 528 is transformation and miracles, DNA repair, increases amount of life energy, clarity of mind. Who would like to have a clear mind? I play that in my house a lot. I just play it. I don't even tell my kids what I'm doing. They have no idea. They just think I'm playing some sort of something. They have no idea. But sound will help clear it out. Meditation will help clear it out.
What is the frequency?
Om?
Yeah.
Om encompasses all frequencies. But see, if I just go, I'm going to have, your Om is beautiful. Actually, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have you guys do your thingy, the thingy we did last time.
Okay.
When we, at a certain point, so you can hear. But the Om is said to be the very first sound that was generated. So the frequency in which that, because it was the creator of all things voice, it encompassed all frequencies. Okay?
Okay.
So if we start looking at and go, okay, if we really want to release and clear out before we start our new goals, sound, have somebody drum over you. I do drumming healing sessions all the time. People are like, that is amazing. John plays the flute. Gentle Thunder plays the 16 different flutes, the hammer, dulcimer, and again, stuff to clear out, to clean out, to let go, to release, so that you can manifest what you're wanting. What else can do it?
Soul Tribe.
Soul Tribe can do it. That's right. when we come in here, the reason why Soul Tribe plays for us and we put the words up here is so you will use your voice, because voice is sound. And when you start using your voice, you open and you become receptive. Does that make sense? So, another thing is working out. Whether it's yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or karate or Taekwondo or going to the gym, which is the earth. Walking, hiking, moves out stale, stagnant energy, doesn't it? So what if you were to go hike the Appalachian Trail while you listen to 528 hertz on your headphones and you want to find God? Nature will show you God all day.
Just a little bit wild. It's a true story about this woman who hiked several miles, and she, the same thing, she shouted, she was in nature, she had to get rid of all her past worries and, troubles, so it was
And what's it called?
Wild, W-I-L-D.
Okay.
I have to be careful, it's not for maybe
Young
little kids, yeah.
Okay. So parental guidance suggested.
When I'm cleaning in the house, when I have to clean the house, I will tell my husband, this is funny, I'll say, you have to turn off the TV, and then I have to play a certain station on Pandora that carries a certain hertz or whatever you're saying, in order for me to effectively house clean, otherwise just forget it.
Cleaning is also a workout, did you know that?
Yeah, but the music is what, a certain music carries me
Into that space. Isn't that beautiful?
It's so cool.
Sound is amazing and it's powerful in so many ways. And now we're listening to sound that is just harmonic, and it can be just as powerful in the opposite ways. Yes?
I would like to invite everybody to look at the page at Facebook for Soul Medicine. And I made a post there, I'm not sure if anybody's already seen it, I know someone's already seen it, but it was a music post. It's the music I have gifted to you today, to Scout. It is awesome music. It's called Sing the World Awake. And it's going to do all these wonderful things. If you listen to it, you can't help but be uplifted. So if you choose to go there and look at it, just like it, so I'll know somebody saw it. I do these things to try to share because they meant something to me. So it would be great if it's right along track with what Selena's telling us.
I want you to listen to something. I'm going to our Facebook page so that you can listen to, let's see if I can find it. Here's Savannah.
Why would they change the music? Change the hertz?
Do you ever wish you could speak and even think in another language with words? Of course you.
I want you to listen to these words.
Watching the third annual Global Citizen Festival live on MSNBC. That is Ryan Reynolds up there on the stage. He is introducing an artist Chris and I are quietly freaking out about, Alicia Keys. That is coming up at any moment.
Now, this song is called We Are Here, and it may be one of the most important songs Alicia Keys has ever written. It's about all of us making a difference, and tonight she demonstrates how we can make that difference by performing it with a young Israeli musician, Aidan Rochelle, and a young Palestinian named Ali Amir. Of course, she invites you to sing along, and more importantly, thank you all for being a global citizen. Please welcome the amazing Alicia Keys.
We are here in the spirit.
If we're here for each other, we must first arrive for ourselves. Because you cannot give away what you do not have. If you do not have love for yourself, you cannot give away love. You do not have kindness for yourself. You cannot give away kindness. So I invite you today, start afresh, start anew. Look at your last year before you start moving into the new year. I look and I'm never going to let a gathering go by without this, because I believe that this speaks so much. The kingdom of God is where? It's within you. It's within me. It's within all our brothers and our sisters. So first we must go inward before we can move outward and make an impact. Lao-Tzu says, if you want to awaken all of humanity, you must first awaken all of you. All of you. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. We all have it. I promise. I'm not sitting here saying I have no darkness in me. I do. We all do. We need dark and light. We just need to face it and be fearless when we do it. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. Be the change in which you wish to see in the world. Gandhi.
Be the change.
Be the change.
Be it.
You can't talk about it, you got to be it. Knowing others is wisdom. Knowing yourself is enlightenment. Timothy Leary did this, and I read this last time, and I want to read it again before we go to our next phase. I love this. Because how many of you, be honest, raise your hand, I want to see them. How many of you have felt different? You felt weird. I think different, I act different, I don't see, we're all misfits.
Misfits.
And we're all here.
Hey,
Isn't that awesome? You have company in your boat, and you have a lot of it. And there are so many out there, so many, that are running out of churches. They're running out of churches because of what man has done. Let's not allow them to be alone. Let's pull them in. Let's give them inspiration. Let's give them love. I don't want to be some mega church so we can make hundreds of thousands of dollars so I can be in a $1 million+ house. I don't need that. What I need is to see that we are all the change. This says, admit it right now, you aren't like them. You're not. You're not even close. You're not. You may occasionally dress up like them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider. Watching the normal people as they go about their nomadic existences. For every time you say club passwords like, have a nice day, the weather's awful today, isn't it? You yearn inside to say something forbidden. So forbidden. Like, tell me something that makes you cry. Tell me something. Tell me what you think deja vu is. Face it, you even want to talk to that girl in the elevator. But we get in the elevator and we turn around and I swear, I think people think that it's a place where you're not allowed to speak, like the library. Have you ever gotten into an elevator filled with people? Nobody says a word. Not one word. But just, what if that girl in the elevator and that balding man that passes you in the cubicle at work are thinking the exact same thing? What if they're thinking that? Who knows? Who knows what might happen? What you might learn, or they might learn, from taking a chance on a conversation with a stranger. Everyone carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts. Do the unexpected and find the others.
Ron and I have to agree with that, because the only time I'm in an elevator, honestly, is Dragon Con, and if you want to be, if you're not like them before, that's it. Everyone is talking and friendly, and just a huge collective of your.
The misfits.
Yeah.
The misfits. We're all misfits. Yes, sir. Timothy Leary. Mhm. I love it. I want to use it a lot because I think we're all there. I think we all know we're different. And I think the world is waking. Alicia Keys singing that song, having thousands of people, not just there, she's done it in many coliseums. Talking about, let's talk about Gaza. Let's talk about Nigeria. Let's talk about dropping bombs trying to get something we never had in the first place. It's beautiful. We are awakening. It is the shift. You are not alone. I am not alone. You'd be amazed at if you just start a conversation, what might happen. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to ask Andrew and Ian and Rob to come up. We're going to pass the basket. This place is ran off the donations. If you have donations that you can give, please. And if you do not, please do not. Please do not. This is not about taking from someone. This is about creating a space where we can come together, always. They worked on this, and it's quite beautiful. And I want you to allow yourself to be taken away with this.
closing meditation and prayer. First thing that I want to do is I want to say a prayer over the donation basket, because what you give comes back to you 100 times. Creator, Great Spirit, we come to you today in a good way. We lift our voices to ask Great Spirit to give thanks for all of the donations that have been collected today and all in the past. And in the future, we ask Great Spirit that you'll bless the hands that have placed it there, that you will return it to them 1,000 times over, that abundance and prosperity will rain down upon them. And for those who may not have been able to give, we ask, Great Spirit, that you will lift them up, and that the abundance and the prosperity and the desires that you have for them will manifest quickly, that you will alleviate any struggles that they may have, that you will bless them with abundance in all things. We ask this, we pray this, in the name of all that is. So it shall be. Amen. Ho! Ho! John is going to play the flute for us so that you can enjoy the last meditation of our gathering today. We will meet again on January the 18th. So I ask that you will take a deep breath in and roll your shoulders back and open and relax into the now, into this moment. Creator, Great Spirit, we come to you in gratitude and in thanksgiving. Our hearts are filled with the messages from today. Our hearts are glad and joyous, and we feel lightened, and we have released and let go, and ask that you be with us as we continue to walk today, letting go and evaluating and seeing all of the revelations that this last year or even few years has brought to us. We give thanks for all of the directions that have come present, for bringing the eagle and the wolf and bear and buffalo, for all of the elements, breath, air, fire, water, and earth, for the opportunity to gather together today in a good way, to listen and to be filled up. Allow us as we breathe and the flute carries us to fill up with unconditional love that flows so freely from you. Creator, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For this life is so precious. We ask that as we fill up with your love and we allow it to overflow from us, breathing in that love, feeling it fill our veins and our heart, feeling our tissues overflowing from us. Let us relish in the love that you have for us and that we have for each other. Great Spirit, let us hear the lessons that you gave us today. Let it sink in. Let us evaluate and understand and have the wisdom to move forward in a good way with a clear path, that we may not only change this world, but make it a better place to live. Great Spirit, as this peace and this love grows within us, we think of all of the ones that are hungry, or sick, need help emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, or physically. And we send this love out to them now, to the ends of the earth, and around the globe, and into the universe, to all those that are in need. We send this love and this peace and this compassion to the leaders of all of the countries, all of the cities, all of the communities. We ask that you'll pierce their heart with love and with compassion. Change their thinking so that the decisions that they make are harmonious with all things, all beings, and with our Mother Earth. Let us see that as we walk and we caress Mother Earth with our footsteps, as we change all those around us just by being, that we walk with peace and gentleness, with love that is boundless and unconditional, flowing from us to us, with kindness on our lips, to all others, and especially to ourselves. Let us be fearless in our actions and in our words, Creator. Let us stand for those that have no voice. Let us be the change in which we wish to see in this world. We ask this and we give thanks for this and we accept all of this love in the name of all that is. So it shall be. Amen. Ho!